So every flip I do, I want to make at least $50 bill on it. That's just how I look at it. Every time I pack, wrap the shit up and put it in a box and print out a label and go to the post office, I want to make $50 on that.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to A Reseller's Journey. Here is your host, eBay Joey.
Welcome to the show. I'm your host, eBay Joey. Today's guest I met at the Resellers basketball tournament in Las Vegas. He has a nice mid-range game and can shoot the three ball. His YouTube channel documents him shopping at Ross, Marshalls, Burlington, Nike Outlet, Plato's Closet, thrift stores, and other retail shops. In addition, he has over 10,000 subscribers and 800,000 views. On Instagram, he has over 4,200 followers. He goes by the name KnowIt2FlipIt, aka the Plato's Closet Mafioso, but his colleagues call him Jake. Welcome and thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for that beautiful intro.
Hey, man, what a pleasure to finally get you on the show, man. Big fan of yours.
Why, thank you.
So how'd you come up with your name, KnowIt2FlipIt?
It was actually based on, I was going to start doing something on YouTube years ago, and it was about basically knowing like random facts or something like that. So it was called like Know It Inc. or something like that. So I had already started like the email address and all that kind of stuff. So I just kind of transitioned it to flipping because that's kind of what I wanted to do because I've been doing it for so long. And I just was like, I can make a YouTube channel out of this, especially after watching some of the other YouTube channels in existence. I'm like, I can do it.
Yeah, so how long ago was that where you decided you wanted to make the YouTube channel?
YouTube channel is probably like, so I've been doing YouTube probably for like a year and a half now. I think I set that channel up like a year before that and didn't really do anything with it. So 2.5 years.
So where are you currently based out of?
I'm in Atlanta area.
Okay, so are you born and raised in Atlanta?
No, I'm from the Chicago area.
Oh, wow. So how long have you been living in Atlanta for?
I think it's been about 9 years, something like that.
Nice, man. 9 years. That's a long time. Now, what led you to go to the Atlanta area from Chicago?
Oh shit. I was married at the time, and my ex-wife had some family here, and that's kind of how we made our way up here.
Okay, and
Our
so
downstairs.
after
Sorry, not up. Down.
That's right. So with all that, that transition, were you reselling in the Chicago area, or is this something that you just started in Atlanta?
No, I resold back in the day, like in Chicago, like 2005, 2006. I was doing jerseys and stuff from TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Burlington. And I think what got me started is the Chicago Bears changed their uniforms, their orange uniforms, to like white lettering instead of blue. So all the blue ones just hit all the TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and they were like $19.99. And back then it was like it wasn't that easy to find stuff like that, right? It's like I would list it, and only like people from Chicago would have it, right? And there wasn't as many sellers and stuff like that, so I could list those jerseys for like I think I was doing like $60 because I think retail was like 80. So I mean, the only you could either get them from retail or from somebody from in Chicago. So that's basically kind of how it started. But I stopped reselling for years after that, though. I got back into it like a couple years ago. But I've been reselling for a long time.
Yeah, what platform did you start selling on? So when you're in Chicago and you got all those jerseys, I mean, how are you flipping those?
That was eBay.
Okay. Was there any like local markets at the time
No,
that you
I mean
were? Yeah.
I guess Craigslist, but if you wanted to get raped or shot, maybe I don't know.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think Craigslist does have a bad rap, but you do got to be careful on some of these platforms, especially if you're going to meet in person. So, what are some of the things that you're flipping now?
Uh, I mean, technically I'll sell anything, but it's mostly shoes because shoes
Okay.
are easy for me.
Yeah, I noticed that, on your YouTube channel, you flip Jordans. And have you always been a sneakerhead, or is that something that you kind of transition to where, there's good money in it, let me try dabbling with it?
No, I've always been a sneakerhead, like in high school and all that. It's when I had my kids and I was married and stuff, and I was super broke, so I wasn't I didn't have a ton of sneakers at that time, but I still knew new shoes. I still followed them. I still would go to the store and look at all the new Jordans that came out and stuff like that, and just admire them. But yeah, after like I got divorced and stuff, I kind of started focusing back on myself, and I got back into shoes. And really, to be honest, it's like I was going to Plato's to try to find some shoes for myself, I think, and there was like a pair of Air Jordan 9s, and they were like a half size too small, and I was just like, damn, I wish they were my size. And then I left, and I was like, shit, wait a minute. Like I should be trying to sell these. Like, what am I doing, right? And that's kind of how it all clicked for me, and then I started getting back into reselling.
Yeah, with Plato's Closet, is that how did you come across that where you said I'm going to walk into here? Because I'm from the West Coast in California, Central California, and I didn't hear about Plato's Closet until I started watching your channel. But is that like a common store where you're at?
I mean, common. I guess. I mean, I think in Atlanta area we got like five or six of them, maybe.
Yeah, okay. That's definitely more than what I got. So, what is your business model when you're walking into the Plato's Closet and you're looking at Jordans, but it can be anything that you're flipping. What's typically something that you like to accomplish with the flips as far as the business side?
Um, I don't know. It's kind of like I kind of wing everything. It really depends. Like if I feel like it's a shoe that'll sell like immediately, and let's say it's $100,
Mhm.
and I know I'll only make like 60 profit or something like that off of the 100. I mean, I'll do it, even though normally I don't like to spend 100 to make 60. You know, but if it's something that I know I could flip pretty quick because I know my shoes, so I'll grab that. Otherwise, if I think it's going to be more of a long term hold, I don't want. I want to make at least 50, and I wouldn't want to spend more than 50 for like a long term hold.
Okay, so what's a long-term hold from you for you, and then what's like a quick flip, like your definitions?
Long term hold, man. Shit, I'll be sitting on stuff for like 6 months because I want to make money. I know eventually the right buyer is going to show up. It's not like I'm not worried
Mhm.
about it. So if the investment is low, I have no problem sitting on it because the money will just come in. But a quick flip, I'm talking, quick flip. I feel like I could list it and it'll be sold within like 2 weeks.
Okay, so quick flip is 2 weeks. Now that's not bad, man. I just sold something on eBay, and it was a bad buy. I bought it for 20, and it's been 160 days, and I have a tracker on my Excel sheet, and I was like, you know what? This was just really bad of me to even buy size 14 baseball cleat, and I just said I just want to break even at this point because it's
Mhm.
just taking up my inventory, and I just don't have that much capital at that time. So it finally sold. Super happy, but it's good to know that what's a long haul date and then what's a quick flip. And I think for people that are listening, they have to make the decision. Do they want, you know, their flips to be worth it, but wait and be patient, or just kind of quick flip and then get out real quick? What are your thoughts about, people that are doing that right now, that they're just in it for the quick flip, but they're not in it for the long haul?
Well, I mean, like, it depends what we're talking about, right? Um, if you're trying to do a quick flip on an item that say you thrift something, right?
Hmm.
And you quick flipping that's not as much of a problem because you're the only one probably with that item. It's not like a saturated item. But if you're going in and you're like I've had this on my channel before, and I got another video coming out about it. But like if you're picking up a shoe for $60, right? And you're flipping it, trying to flip it quick for a $20 profit, to me that's ridiculous. It's a waste. I mean, I don't know why you would want to, because you even though you think it's a quick flip doesn't mean it will be, right? Just because you
Hmm.
think if you list that shoe for 80 and you pay 50, you think it's gonna flip quick. What if it doesn't? You know what I mean? It's just to me, it's a waste of your money sitting there And also, think about it. You buy a shoe for 50, right? And you want to quick flip it to make 20, right? Then you got to go find another shoe. You got to invest that money again, quick flip that. And how long did that take you? Where you could have just bought that one damn shoe, sat on it, and made more than both your flips. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
to me, it's stupid. Like, you should be picking up more valuable items. Invest your money in something better. Like I always say, like, if you want to make $20, you could go to Goodwill. Like, you know how much stuff I pass on in Goodwill every day that I could make $20 on? It's
Yeah.
like the easiest thing ever. To make $20 is the easy to me is the easiest thing ever. Like, but it's not worth my time. I mean, at this point, like I have a 9 to 5 job. I make a decent salary, so every flip I do, and I'm making YouTube videos, and those things take 8 hours to edit. So
Yeah.
so every flip I do, I want to make at least $50 bill on it. That's just how I look at it. Every time I pack and wrap the shit up and put it in a box and print out a label and go to the
Mm.
post office, I want to make $50 on that. Now,
Okay.
if I was cool with 20, then I would just have a crap load of stuff. And plus, you got to list everything too, right? So I don't want to come home from Goodwill or wherever with 30 things and I have to list all 30, and then I'm making, like I just don't have time for it. And obviously, these people who are quick flipping have time, because for you to take that shoe, buy it, list it, do all that for $20, you could have done it with an item that cost you three.
Yeah, even for me on Instagram, you see a lot of people posting stuff like that where they buy a nice shoe, could be a foam posit or some J's or whatever that's out there, and people are just not pricing it right, and it's hard to identify who that person is and why they're doing it or what's the mindset behind it. But you always hear that cliche, work smarter, not harder. And it seems like in the reselling game, the people that want to do the quick flip, it's like they're doing the opposite.
Well, I think it's because you don't really want to learn anything, right? Like, it's easy to pick up that shoe that you saw on Instagram or saw Hustler Hacks or saw on my channel or whatever, right? It's easy just to be like, oh, let me get that. Oh, I'll just make $20. Everyone else is priced at 150, which is the right price. I'll just do mine at $89, right? Because I just want to make 15, right? But
Yeah.
it's stupid, all right? Because, like, for real, like, there's psychology to this, right? Because say I'm a buyer, like this has happened to me. I've been in a market for a shoe before, right? Like I
Hmm.
watched, right? And I'm like, oh, I want that Vapor Max, like multicolor. Like I bought that recently, okay? And
Okay.
and I really wanted it. And all the shoe, and they were all like 200. So mentally, I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna have to end up spending 200 for this shoe, right? And then you see one or two pop up, somebody selling them for 110, right? And then you're like, oh shit, it wasn't my size, but I was like, oh man, let me hold off. There's one that's gonna pop through. Somebody's gonna sell one for 110 eventually. You know what I mean? And if you just mentally, the buyer just gets conditioned when they see those low ass prices. If I'm just saying, if it's the kind of buyer that's actually waiting for it, they get conditioned, and they're like, I'm not paying 200 for that. I can get that for 110. You know what I mean? And you're
Yeah.
killing it for everybody else. So now when they go in and they see everybody at 200, they're like, damn, I'm just gonna have to end up paying around 200 for this shoe. It's just like they just get conditioned, because if somebody really wants something, they're gonna pay for it eventually. You know what I mean? It's not like they're just gonna like, oh, I can't afford that shoe. I'm never gonna buy it until somebody drops it to 110. That's a small percentage of people, man. Like most people got their eyes on something, they're gonna buy it eventually. I mean, that's how I feel.
Yeah, man, I think that is key. Know it to flip it, the psychology aspect of it, because I've been reselling since the beginning of the year on these platforms, and I used to resell back in the day with some other stuff, but I had bought this soccer cleat, and I thought like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna make a decent profit. I'll triple my money, but I'll be the lowest one out of everybody. And what ended up happening was that the people above me sold their product before me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like it was really a learning lesson. Know it to flip it, where it's like just because you're the lowest end doesn't guarantee a sale. And I think now that I started following people like you, Hustler Hacks, Hustler B, a lot of great resellers out there, you see that if you just price it right, you're going to make profit, and you can work less and find less and make a lot more money profitability wise.
Well, I mean, that would apply to eBay, right? Because a lot has to do with your pictures and how you list it. Especially with shoes, a lot of people don't realize. Like I see people post shoes and they don't even take pictures of the tag. Like that's like step one. The tag needs to be there because people who want authentic shoes, they want to see the tag and they also want to confirm the size and they want to do all that. So there's just certain things that need to be included. But if we're talking about the other apps like Goat, StockX, well, then technically the lowest price will sell first. It's just how they do it. But
Yeah.
you're really just depressing the market. I mean, think about it. Somebody who's shopping on Goat, right? They specifically looking for a shoe that they're looking to be authenticated and they want to trust, right? Why the hell they're going there for a reason? So why would you price it so low? Like I've seen Goat prices lower than eBay. You
Yeah.
know, because these people are fiending so hard just to get rid of these shoes, and you can actually make more money on eBay, which is crazy. Like that was never the case a while back. Gold prices were always higher, but now it's like people don't want to take the pictures, they don't want to list, they don't want to do all that, so they're just like, let me grab this, make my $10, depress the market, and be on my way. You know?
Yeah, it's funny, man. I started recently selling on Goat, and I got some shoes. And when I'm in the store, I'm in Marshalls or whatever. I like to look them up on eBay. I like to look them up on Goat and just kind of see where the market's at. And sometimes I might just list it on Goat and not put it on eBay because I feel like there's just better opportunity there. But on Goat, it's like I get these messages like every day. One person goes $5 less, $5 less, $5 less, and I got a shoe that retails for 180 and somebody's selling for 50. Can
It's
you
stupid.
talk about that?
I mean, it's stupid. I mean, when I list on Go personally, I never undercut. So, like to me, if somebody's listed at 180, so we're talking about a size here, a particular size, right? So say
Okay,
I have
yeah.
9.5, and the lowest price is 180, right? And 180 will make me, let's say, $110.
Okay.
Let's just say, right? And then a size up maybe is listed at 220, right? But I don't necessarily want to wait for that 220. Like I don't even know. So I never undercut. I'll go in there and I'll just list it at 180. I'm cool with it. I
Mhm.
don't to me, I honestly I don't understand how the algorithm works. I don't know if mine will sell first or whoever that is first. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? It's at least I know I have equal chance of selling mine as whoever else has theirs listed at that price, right?
Right.
So like I said, I don't know how it works, but that's what everyone should do. Just list that shit at whatever price is there. If you're cool with
Hmm.
it, if you're not cool with it, list it for more. But don't undercut because then you just start the race to the bottom. It's the $5 and this guy's $5 and then another $5. And they're just playing this dumbass game and just depressing fucking shoe guys. I hate that, man. I hate it.
Yeah.
Like just wait. If somebody wants a shoe, they're gonna buy it. Who's shopping for a shoe other than resellers, right? Who's just
Right.
looking for the shoes at the lowest price? Like if you got your eye on a shoe, you got your eye on a shoe, man. Like I'm going to go. Like if I'm willing to pay 150, I'm sorry, if I'm willing to pay 110, I'm going to be willing to pay 150. Come on, just
Hmm. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, man. Where I've heard personally, and I can't verify it because, like you said, we don't know the algorithm of Goat. And I know the people that are on the East Coast that deal with Goat, especially like people in New Jersey. There's a place in New Jersey. For me, I'm on the West Coast. All my Goat sales go to LA. So I just heard you get in line, and then that's it, man. So if I put it at 180, you put it at 180. You go first, I go second, and we all eat, which is a beautiful thing. I have a question for you at Know It to Flip It. Have you ever ran into other resellers in your area?
uh no, I mean I've only a couple people that like at a Marshalls and stuff, like people who watch like the channel and stuff and are cool. But like when you say run into resellers, like seeing people reselling, or like what do you mean?
Yeah, yeah. Like sometimes when you go into an area, there's like other resellers that are not competitors, but just people doing what you're doing. They're hustling. They got a side hustle. Do you ever see them in your store, or do they ever approach you or anything like that?
There's ones in like the thrift ones I've seen, like the same
Okay.
people I see in thrift stores, but in regards to like Ross and Burlington and stuff like that, I don't really see, but I don't, honestly, like I don't go every day like that. You know what I mean? Because it's still a part-time thing for me.
Hmm.
So I don't really get to see those people, but the Goodwill people basically hang out at Goodwill all the time. So you don't have to go all the time to see them.
So with reselling for you, since you do it part time, what would you say the mix is as far as percentage of the thrift game and then the retail game, all that put together?
I mean, honestly, I'd say Plato's is at least Plato's and thrifting. I probably say is 70%. I probably
Of
say
what you do?
yeah. I probably say 30% is like Ross, Burlington, Marshalls. But like I say, like for me, it's tougher because I can't go every day and I can't go like early and stuff like that. So it's kind of like I'm just getting lucky when I'm hitting the Burlingtons and stuff like that. Like the only time I really ever find anything, honestly, is when I get there and they're bringing the carts out.
Oh,
Like if
the
I get there
restock.
and the carts are coming out, I usually can look in those boxes and I grab something or they put them on the shelves. But usually, if I'm not getting there during a restock, I'm not going to find anything.
So since you have a full-time job and there's a lot of people out there that have a full-time job and then do reselling part-time, what does your sourcing schedule look like?
Uh, Honestly, it'll be like maybe during lunch at work, I'll go. That's when I usually go hit the Burlington. That's not that far from me. Ross, there's a Ross on my way to the gym. Um, and there's like thrift stores all over the place that I drive past. So, and there's a Plato's that's not that far from me. But really, honestly, like when I do my videos and stuff, it'd probably be like me going out on a Saturday and just filming for like 5 or 6 hours.
Okay, so you do go out on the weekends and have success out there with these when you're sourcing?
Yes, like, but that once again is mostly it'll mostly end up being Play-Dohs and stuff like
Okay.
that, and the retail stuff I would say is probably more during the week.
Yeah, what platforms are you currently selling all your finds on?
eBay, Goat, and StockX.
Okay. Do you ever, think about messing with those other ones like Poshmark, Macari, or maybe like the other platforms that where you meet up people like on Facebook Marketplace?
I got some stuff listed on Poshmark. I've sold some stuff on Poshmark too, just not recently. Not like that local stuff. No, I don't do it.
Know it to flip it, don't got time for it.
No, I just don't trust people like that, man. I don't like it. It's just weird for me. I don't like it.
Yeah, man. I rather do the electronical ones where, you get an email or a chick-ching or whatever, and then you just pack it and send it off. I mean, I'm not really tripping that they got my address, but it is what it is. So those three that you mentioned, eBay, StockX, and Goat, which one is your favorite and why?
Probably Goat because it's the easiest. It's the easiest to list on, and because I sell a lot of used shoes too,
Hmm.
and I just the market is better in my opinion. Like you'll get more money usually, right? If for your used shoes, if you price them right, I mean, if you yeah, if you price them right, you'll get more money.
Yeah,
Versus
what
eBay.
Okay, cool. So with the used shoes that you sell, do you have like a process as far as to get them out to market? I mean, are you as far as taking the pictures, do you have to clean them? Sometimes do the inside smell because they've been worn? What's kind of your process with used shoes?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always going to try to make them look better. Like I do see people take pictures like on Goat and stuff where they didn't even clean the bottom of the shoe or the midsoles. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, I mean, you're just making my life better because I show my clean one and I get more than you. But it just
Yeah.
blows my mind. Like people are taking pictures and the bottom's got dirt all in it, and I'm like, why clean it? Throw some water on that damn thing, clean it. My God. But
Yeah,
anyway,
some people are funny, man. So are you using like a high-tech camera? Or are you one of those guys that just like to use your cell phone
phone,
camera?
phone camera.
Yeah, are you like an Apple guy or are you a Android guy?
Android. I don't even
Okay.
know how to use an Apple phone.
Shout out to everybody using the Android out there.
I
So
refuse
you
to
have
learn.
a huh?
I refuse to learn Apple. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, for me, man, my work, they use Apple and I've always been an Apple guy, so it makes life easy and my wife uses Apple and they're all good phones, but I just like to always ask resellers, what's your preference? So you have a YouTube channel. Can you talk about you know, how you decided to create everything and how it all came together?
Uh, shoot. I mean, like, and honestly, like, I was watching YouTube. I think when I got really back into reselling, I started watching YouTube, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of stuff on here. Helped me learn some things as well. But of some of the channels that I saw, man, I was like, dude, I could do this. Like, especially, I had found like some really amazing things too, and it's kind of like, I haven't like before I had YouTube, I found like crazier things than I find now.
Hmm.
Like, the craziest thing I probably found while I had the YouTube channel was that professional Cubs jersey that was autographed by Mark Grace. Like, it was his jersey. I still got to put that into auction, like Glenn did with his
Basketball
self.
jersey.
I think it was flannel. Like, I'm so like, I'm a procrastinator. It's hard. Like, I got stuff just hanging there. I got a suit over there. It's like worth $600. I haven't listed it. I've had it for like 8 months. But because you got to do measurements and stuff. But
Yeah.
what the hell? What were we talking about?
So we're just talking about how you
Yeah, okay, yeah,
decided to create the YouTube
yeah,
channel. You said some people were just weak sauce, pretty much. You
yeah.
just
People were weak sauce, like for real weak sauce, and they had a ton of subscribers. I was like, dude, come on, man, I could do this. And like, they had no personality or anything, and I was like, no, man, I could do this. But so I did find like, so I'm gonna do a video on it eventually, but I actually have a pair of like LeBron shoes that he wore himself. I
oh
thrifted.
wow.
I thrifted like a pair of TO's custom shoes, Terrell Owens stuff. Charlie Whitehurst's entire Chargers like warm up jersey, his whole warm up outfit. Like a lot of like, some like Celtics shorts, some Supersonic shorts, some Orlando
Mhm.
Magic shorts, all like NBA worn. Sold them all like $200 each.
Wow.
Like the Civil War belt buckles, that were actually worth like $1,000. But like, I haven't been finding this crazy stuff, but it's probably also that I haven't been thrifting as hard as I used to as well.
Yeah, so you just said, okay, well, let's just put it all online. You know, other people are not doing it as well. And like you said, you have personality. And I think that's what makes your channel enjoyable, man, because I try to get my wife to watch people reselling. And, you know, we really enjoy yours, especially when you do a bathroom review. So can you talk about how you came up with the idea, like, let's do a bathroom review on these retail stores?
Man, I don't remember what my first one was. It was probably because something really stood out to me in the bathroom, and I just wanted to
Yeah.
point it out. And then it probably just became kind of like a funny, reoccurring little thing. But I don't remember what my first one was, but I think it was something in the bathroom was just so crazy I had to point it out. That's kind of how it started.
And it seems like it's a staple now, man, with with your videos that you post online, where some bathrooms I mean some shops don't even have a bathroom, so you can't even do a review, or someone blew it up or whatever. But that's cool that you do that. Now, also, how did you come up with the name, the Plato's Closet Mafioso? Was that something that you came up with, or somebody in the store gave it to you because you were always there?
No, that was Reggio on Instagram. He gave it to me. So we gotta give credit where credit is due
Hey,
on
that's
that.
right, man. Shout them out.
Hold on, let me get his exact Instagram. Reggio Blaze. Reggio underscore Blaze. He gets all the credit for Plato's Mafioso. I think he commented on one of my posts, and he was like, Plato's Mafioso. And so I just rolled with it. I liked it.
And who came up with that picture of you from
Oh,
Scarface?
I
I
did
mean,
that.
The Godfather, the Godfather.
Yeah, I did that one. That was me.
Okay, so we'll give you credit for that. Now, also, with your YouTube videos, you have a dog. Your dog's name is Chase, and it seems like when I read the comments, man, people really get excited about Chase being in the videos. Or sometimes I left comments where like, man, we don't see him enough. So, can you talk about how Chase came to the scene with you and how he became a star?
Chase, I would bring Chase on camera now, but he's actually in trouble. He shit on the stairs. So,
Uh oh.
yeah. Right before the video, like, he was gonna get some camera time, and I locked him up because he's bad.
Oh man.
But Chase, I actually got from a friend of mine. who ended up having twins, and he already had a son, a young son, and they got to a point where they couldn't take care of the dog anymore. So I got Chase. Like, he got Chase as a baby. I was actually one of the first people to meet Chase as well,
Okay.
because he went to Alabama to pick Chase up, right? And for some reason he swung by my house. I think he was dropping something off, and I saw Chase and his little baby Chase in the cage. I was like, oh, look at little Chase. So I always like loved Chase, and he knew that, right? So that's why he said he wanted me to take Chase when he couldn't take care of him anymore.
So is Chase has a twin out there? Is that what you're telling me?
No. So Chase,
Okay.
he brought Chase from Alabama, because Chase is a Maltipoo, and he went to Alabama. He still had to pay $1,000 for Chase. Like,
Wow.
Chase is like a super expensive kind of dog because he's hypoallergenic and stuff like that. So that's the best deal he could find in the area. Otherwise, if he was local, he'd have to pay like 1,500 or something like that.
Oh
So
wow,
he
that's a
drove
lot.
to Alabama and got Chase there, and that's how I saw him on his way back. He stopped by my house for some reason, and I saw Chase like in cage and held him.
And that was it. So did he already have the name Chase, or you gave it to him?
He actually, yeah, he already had the name Chase. I thought he was named after Chase Bank because there's some upscale people. Like, it's not. It's actually Chase from Paw Patrol. That's where it's from.
Yeah, man, that's what I was thinking. I got a 3.5-year-old, and every time I hear Chase, man, I just think Paw Patrol. But that's awesome that everything just came together, and YouTube is taking off, and it seems like you're dropping a video at least once a week. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, I try. Every so often I'll miss like a week, but yeah, because it's like I don't want to put out like garbage, And
Mhm.
to me, it's like if it's not entertaining, then I don't want to do it.
Yeah, so the entertaining aspect, I just watched your last video, and Coach Jamie came up. But
Yeah.
is that something that the creativity aspect is just on the fly where you wing it and then you just say, hey, we're going to put Coach Jamie on blast right now?
Yeah, I just wing. Yeah, I just wing everything. That's kind of how I do everything. How I live my life, honestly. But yeah, I just wing it. And what's funny is it's like when you film it, you don't necessarily know it's going to be integral part of the video, or if it's that is actually that funny, because that's
Mhm.
like editing and stuff like that comes into it, and then you're like, oh damn, this is actually pretty funny, and then you kind of roll with it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, man. And I like reading all the comments where just people keep adding on to it and adding on to it, and it builds. But you do definitely got some cool subscribers out there. How long does it take you to edit your videos that you put out?
It takes a long time, man. It takes me like 8 hours at least.
Oh wow.
So.
Now is that on a PC or on a Mac?
Man, I don't know how to use a Mac.
Me neither, man. On PC all day. So I had told my Instagram followers that you were coming on the show, and I wanted to do a Q&A and have them have some questions for you. So are you ready to answer some Q&As from the IG world?
All right, man, let's do it.
Hey, you got to answer all of them. So this one comes from _Cali_life_. Do you do trades online or trades at all for fines?
No, people will like send me messages on eBay like, hey man, would you trade for this or that or whatever? No, man, I wouldn't do it. I first of all, I wouldn't even know how to do it. I mean, who sends who what first, when, where,
Right.
who pays for what? Like, it's like, just dude, if you want my shoe, just sell your shoe and buy mine.
Yeah, man, I think it could get real messy. I know my wife, she likes to flip stuff on OfferUp, and people say, "Oh, would you take this laptop and, this coffee table for what you got?" And it's like, "No, I just want to sell my stuff and move on." So this next one comes from Texan_conservative_reseller. How does he ship boxes out?
First of all, let me say I love Texas. All right. Um, I Texas is dope, and I've been to. I just want to say, like, Frisco, Texas, is like the craziest suburb I've ever seen. Like, every house is a brick mansion, and everything there is made out of brick. It's like the real fancy kind of brick. Like you ever seen Prestigious Ross?
Oh yeah, the big
You know
pillars
how
in the
big
front.
fancy? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
everything out there looks like that. like the gas stations. It's crazy. Because I think that's where the Cowboys practice facility is, or something.
Okay.
So it's very upscale over there. It's really cool. All right, so we were talking about how I ship stuff
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, he wants to know how you ship your shoes out or your boxes.
Uh, well, the best box is that USPS box, the shoe box.
Hmm.
That because most of my shoes I don't have the actual box with, so that works a lot. And you can order that on USPS. And my post office just has them randomly sometimes, and I grab them all. So that's how I get them. But I also get a lot of boxes from work too because where I sit, they like dispose all the boxes like real close to me, so I get to go through them and just grab what I want on my way out. So, but I will say this: Home Depot has great boxes too. The small box at Home Depot, it's like
Hmm.
78 cents or something like that.
Yes, they're pretty cheap. I got one right behind me. I got mine from Walmart, but I think the Home Depot ones just seem a little bit too thick. But like for Go and StockX, are you using the ones you would buy at Home Depot or?
Well, what I'm saying is for the Home Depot one, if you have a box, like if you have a shoe box with it,
Mhm.
then it fits in there well and it protects it well. So like if you're doing Go or StockX, I mean they're paying for shipping, so you need to protect them as well as you can, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think for Goat and StockX, I would definitely use a thicker box. And I think Amazon or eBay, they do have shoe boxes that are pretty big. That if you were to buy from a giant retailer, those are pretty cool because you don't have to cut them down. This next question comes from the Damper Fanatic. Does he sell to Plato's or only buy?
Oh,
Also,
come on, Dapper Fanatic. When
eh,
somebody sells the Play-Dohs, I call that donating. Okay, not
he
even
mu- he.
they're
It sounds
donating.
like he knows you.
Yeah, they're
Shout out
donating.
to Dapper Fanatic for that one.
Yeah, yeah. No, never. That's the worst thing you can do. Honestly, I tried to think about like how I can get people to sell me their stuff instead of going to Plato's, right? Because I'll give you at least double what Plato's will, because Plato's usually gives them about one third of what they're gonna sell it for.
Yeah, you know what, that's actually a pretty smart business model if you think about it. Like how could you kind of push away the middleman and then your margins go up? So maybe that's something that, you might want to work on.
I'm not even necessarily concerned about the margins, right? I'm just concerned about the shoes, right? Because it's like I'm cool. A lot of the shoes I get from Plato's, I'm actually cool with the price, right? So if you got a shoe that I can make $100 on, I mean, I'll give you $100 for it. And Plato's
Mhm.
will give you 33, right? So come to me, I'll give you 100 for it.
That's it. Know what to flip it. If you're in his area, Atlanta, he will be buying all your used shoes. But his second part of his question was also how many times a week do you visit Plato's?
I try to go at least twice a week.
Okay, there you go, Dapper Fanatic, twice a week. Next question comes from Ross_Shallington.
First of
What?
all, I should be asking Ross Shallington the questions.
Hey,
Why is
shout
he
out
asking me
to
anything? Why is he asking me?
hey, he wants to know why haven't you met up with him yet?
Because he is far as hell away from me, and I have a theory. His area is very untapped, and I'm not gonna tell you where he is, but he's not close to me. I really want to go over there, and I want to check it out, but I'm gonna be like I said, it's gonna be a nice little drive for me. But I am definitely eventually gonna go down there. I'll make a video with him, and we're gonna see if his magic works on camera.
Yeah, that'll be cool, man. I think maybe if it's around lunchtime, we can really see how it goes down, and you guys can put some GoPros on your heads or something like that. So thank you for answering all the questions. I mean, that was really cool to get it from everybody that's on IG. So, what kind of advice would you give someone that they want to step up their game as far as use shoes? They want to, their side hustle. They want to take it to the next level, but they have, a full time job like you. What kind of advice would you give them?
Uh, Honestly, like it really depends with shoes, right? Like I think the first part of shoes is you got to learn shoes. You got to know what you're looking for, right? Because I'll walk in a store and I'll discount 90% everything the moment I lay my eyes on it. Like, that's crap. That's crap. You know, and a lot of people, if you don't know shoes, you're just going to be looking everything up. Like, you know, who has time? Who has time for that, right? So I say the first thing is you kind of got to really learn shoes. So I mean, I would say like start watching like you know some of like the shoe tube people and the shoe reviews because they really always focus on like the more hype kind of stuff, and you get an idea of what kind of models people are looking for, silhouettes and stuff like that. So that's kind of the first thing I would say. Um, Other than that, you know, I especially if you're looking to step up what you're selling, it depends on what your capital looks like. But if you got low capital, I would definitely also recommend, you know, going to thrift stores and Uptown Cheapskates, Play-Doh, stuff like that versus retail arbitrage. Because if you're going to retail arbitrage and you don't have a budget, you're the ones killing the game by asking for $20 more than you paid.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think that's key is you don't gotta rush it. You know, if you want to be around for the next 3 to 5 years in the reselling game, and I think with the online scene, it's only gonna get better, man. You know, people are spending more money online, online, online. So I think just kind of take baby steps and just build up that capital. I think that was very well said. Where can people find you on social media?
Know it to flip it with the number two in there, YouTube and Instagram.
Okay. Um, Last question. What kind of advice would you give yourself 3 to 5 years ago, whether it's reselling or, you know, whether it's in your personal life, you know, what would you tell Noah to flip it back in the day?
Oh my God. Only 5 years back? Because if we go back further, there'd be some
You
real
know
stuff.
what? Yeah, because you're an older cat. Let's take it like 10 years. Let's say if Noah to flip it was in Chicago, what do you tell him before he heads to Atlanta?
Number one, don't
Yeah.
go to Atlanta. That's the first. Well, now that I'm here, it's like I can't leave, right?
Right.
And but once you spent like a lot of time in a warmer climate as well, I can't even be in Chicago in the winter anymore. It's like I'll freeze. I can't do it. So that's one thing. But I don't know. I think I would have got into reselling, back into reselling, right? Because I had a lull for a while.
Mhm.
I would have got back into it because there was like many a years when I was married, man, I was broke, man. Like you know, I had two younger kids, and my wife, my ex-wife at the time, she didn't work, and it was
Mhm.
like it was all on me, and I was like, man, so broke, man. You know, like remember like those like credit monitoring checks they used to send in the mail? Did you ever get
Yeah.
those? Like
I never got. Yeah.
they'd be like deposit this $15 and you get free, you know, and you got a month to cancel, and then after that we're going to charge you like $15 a month or something. So if I
Right.
got one of those checks, I would always deposit them and I mark on the calendar to cancel. So I got my free $15. And when I got that 15 dude, I was like, hell yeah, I got
Yeah.
$15 for free. You know, like $15 was like a big deal, man. So yeah, I would have definitely got back into it a lot earlier. And especially back then, I mean, the market was much less saturated as well. You probably could have made a
Mhm.
killing if you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I think you know, I think there's probably a lot of people listening that do support a family and the side hustle. I mean, it's extra money. And I know for me, the extra money, I support my wife and my two little kids, but the reselling money, it really does help out because it can go towards a gas bill. You know, maybe you want to take your family out to eat. So I completely understand what you're saying with that $15, man. It does go a long way. But I want to thank Noah to Flip It for being on the show today.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you to the audience for tuning in. You can find today's guest on Instagram at KnowIt2FlipIt, and you can find me on Instagram at eBay Joey. If you like what you're hearing, don't forget to subscribe and follow on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Remember, never forget why you started.